So exciting.
So exciting.
Together for the first time together.
I know. Well, we've been a lot live together, but never like live for the world to see.
I don't think it's our last time though.
No. I'm excited to finally get to share what we've been like collaborating on.
It has been brewing for a while.
It's been brewing for a hot minute. And I'm all about giving credit where credit is due. A man introduced us.
It's true.
We're not man haters.
We are not. We love the men in our lives who do things like this.
Right, connecting us. So I'm a big advocate on when someone tells you that you should connect with somebody or meet someone, you do it out of respect for that person.
And the person who suggested it.
Yes, and you never know what might happen. So this is a great example. Jeff Schwartz, he's probably watching because he's our biggest fan. And he literally just said, you have to meet Carrie. And I was like, well, why? And he's like, well, it doesn't matter. I think you should meet her. Trust me. You guys, I don't know what y'all will do, but it'll be awesome. So just take the meeting. And I did. And he probably said the same thing to you, right?
Yep. With a little more direction. But the purpose of the meeting was not what we actually started to create together, which was so great. So I think the lessons, say yes, always say yes, and then follow your intuition, right? Follow your instincts, which we did, which led us to where we are right now, because this was not why Jeff didn't say, you guys should be strategic partners. He said, use your MBA and go help Catherine with her business. And maybe you want to invest in it, which is not a conversation we've ever had. Very masculine, very masculine of him, because he kind of got it, but he missed the bigger picture,
right.
Which is great. It doesn't matter.
So let's start from the very beginning. When I connected with you, just learning more about you, you told me that you bought this old farmhouse and hotel, almost like an inn. Well, it is an inn, in Vermont, and that like came out of left field. But you trust like your gut and your intuition, and you go for it. And you were kind of like, from what I get, you kind of were like, well, we'll figure it out as we go. And now you've come to this place. So tell us more about that journey.
That's pretty accurate. So I have had a global yoga and adventure retreat business for about 7 years. It's called Enliven Retreats. Many of you watching me have come on some of my retreats. I've been leading retreats, yoga, transformation, outdoor adventure, all over the world for about 7 years. And when COVID happened, that slowed down, and I had a lot of time to think, which is always an interesting time for me when I have time and space. And I didn't know what was going to be next. And if I tell you the story, it's a little woo-woo and it's a little weird, but literally, I have a business partner who I've done retreats with, and she and I always had this dream that one day we would have our own retreat center. And I was spending some time in Vermont, and literally the street sign jumped off of the road and came onto my car windshield and said, go to Zillow and find me. And I saw that and heard that message like 50 times before I actually did it. And I went to Zillow and I found this bed and breakfast for sale in Sandgate, Vermont, which is literally the middle of nowhere. And it was,
but it's like an hour away.
Yeah.
So it's like you're in the middle of nowhere, but also
really close. Yeah.
Close, yes.
And it was COVID. We couldn't even see it. They wouldn't allow New Yorkers to come into Vermont.
Oh, right. Because
you couldn't even see it. So I had to send Vermont spies to check it out for me. And then I called the real estate agent, who is the most wonderful human in the world and is now a dear friend of the inn and of mine, which is so special. And I said, we really want to come see it. And she said, put on a mask. We won't tell anybody. Come on. So we came out to this little vista in Sandgate, Vermont. Green mountains surround it alongside the Green River that flows year round, doesn't freeze over. The most beautiful sound, the most beautiful sight, next to a Vermont white church across from a cemetery. I mean, really like picture perfect, idyllic, with this beautiful 12,000 square foot inn with 15 ensuite bedrooms, beautifully appointed. And a carriage house with 3 bedrooms. And if that wasn't enough, a huge deck and a pavilion. And the price was very understated for the amount of real estate that was being sold. So we said, we could do retreats here. And the crazy thing about the space is nothing was happening. It was COVID. The woman, I think, was going through her own healing process, was just kind of hanging out there, like healing, but no money was coming in. So we said, people want to come here. People need to come here. This place wants people. You can feel it. And it was COVID, and it was a real estate transaction, and the seller invited us to sit down and have coffee, take our masks off and have coffee, and said, I want you guys to buy this in, and I want you to do this. And suddenly the town of Arlington leaned in, and everybody said, you guys need to do this. The banks showed up, the lawyers showed up. Everybody said, you guys need to do this. This town needs it. And as we started to run this business, we started to do retreats. We realized retreats are wonderful, and people come and they heal and they transform. But what we realized about the space, the people who really get it, the people who really get the benefit of it, are the people who create a relationship with it. It's my friend in Brooklyn who has now been there 4 times for retreats, for weekends. Now we've booked a workation week in December so she can come. It's a 4-hour drive, but it is her happy place. And she brought her 14-year-old child who feels the same way about it, right? It's one of our chefs who realized she feels fully inspired and herself at the end. So she became a member, and now she comes out and spends our weekends with us. And we realized we don't want to be a one-night stand, come and do a 2-day retreat and leave and we never see you again. Right. We want you to keep coming back. We want you to have a relationship. We want to become a part of your lives. We want to become a part of your work life. We want to become a part of your vacation life. We want to become part of your transformation journey. We want to become a part of your ongoing holistic wellness life. And that's when we met. And all of that sort of crystallized and came together and exploded when you started telling me more about Palette, which I had heard of, but hadn't really experienced it yet. So we ultimately have the same vision and are doing the same thing in a different model. I said, why couldn't we blend that? Why couldn't we do work share? And why couldn't Palette do retreats?
Well, so we are big on events. Obviously, we put on like the most fun, I would say, events. Obviously, they're transformative, they're inspiring, they're informative, and but like there's got to be fun. There's absolutely got to be fun. And I find this in my experience owning Paint and Sip, meeting people through Palette who are just so business oriented, and when you just not just relax, but there's a therapy in it, in the fun, and you forget like life for a little bit, and the stress and the anxiety and the bills you got to pay and the mouths you got to feed, and you just like chill. And you don't even realize that you're doing it, right? So it is transformative, and no one can understand until you experience it.
And what's so magical about our connection, right, is that's always been the philosophy of my retreats. I used to think you needed to bring people out and sit them in coursework and follow this transformative process. And I did all of this and realized people need exactly what you're saying. People need to get outside of their daily lives. They need to escape from the usual. They need to be in a relaxing environment. They need to be taken care of, and they need to be having fun. Fun is the transformative experience. So I shifted my business about 4 or 5 years ago to being, I'll create the envelope. I'll create the space and the experience. Fun will be there. And the transformation, that will be the benefit, right? But we're not going to lead with that. That's going to be your gift when you leave it. And that's been my philosophy for years. So the fact that you share that philosophy and Palette shares that philosophy just made it such a perfect connection.
I never really understood that whole like notion that people like attracts like. And you hear that and you just never really understand what it means until you experience it. And I think that is exactly what happens at Palette. You're sitting in the cafe, you're sitting upstairs, or you come to an event, and you really do feel like, oh my God, these are all my people. Yes. These are all the people who get me, who understand that I'm struggling or they're struggling too, and we are all just really supporting each other. That's what I think is the magic of Palette, and it's very difficult to articulate on a website or, in general. I mean, when I first met you, you were like, oh, I just always thought this was just, a coffee shop.
Right.
And it's like, no, we mean what we say when we say it's more than a cafe. It's an experience. It's more than co-working. It's a community. We're all intertwined in each other's lives because it's what we need. We need somebody to help us along.
Right.
And
Enliven, it's more than a bed and breakfast. It's more than an inn. It's more than a retreat. It's a continuation of that same experience, right? The collaboration, the connection, the support, the fun. It's a complete continuum of that.
Yeah. So we are having an open house on
Yes.
October 17th.
Yes,
For
October 7th.
Palette members. And I implore anybody that's kind of like on the fence or interested in joining Palette and wants to learn more, come to this event. It's at the inn, which is a beautiful space. So I went and stayed there personally because you had told me all about it, right? And I was like, yeah, I mean, it can't, like, what, I gotta go. I gotta understand what you're talking about. And I've heard you explain this too, like, Catherine didn't get it until she got there. And I have to, like, agree. I didn't fully understand the magic of the space until I got there. And we stayed in one of the suites. We left the screen, like, we slept with the window open with the screen shut, so no bugs or anything, but we could hear the river the entire night. And I didn't know that the river never freezes over. So it's like
all year round.
Awesome. Yeah. So everyone can come and visit the space on the 17th.
It's a Sunday afternoon. It will go from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Wine, cheese, and goodies. And we'll have tours, and you can come check out the spa. Did we mention there's a spa?
Oh, we didn't. No, we didn't. Yeah. So it's how many acres of property?
It's about 4 acres from one end to the other.
And there's a main kitchen, there's a dining room, there's a yoga retreat room, there's a spa, sauna, massage, so hot tub.
Bring your bathing suit if you want to the open house, and come experience a little bit of the Enliven magic.
Yes. And so for members of Palette, they have access to Enliven, and that's kind of like the partnership that we've created, this satellite offshoot of our community at Enliven.
Right. So for a $75 a month upgrade, Palette members will get also a membership to Enliven at the Green River. And what that membership includes is unlimited usage of the space during the day. We can provide meals for extra price. We can provide spa treatments, massages, facials for extra money, but use of the space for work, for meetings, for collaboration, for spa usage, go use the jacuzzi, go use the sauna, unlimited. It also gives you discounted room rates if you want to stay over, discount to retreats, or discount if you want to rent the inn for like a wedding, a family gathering, and other events that we do. So all of that will be sent out via email in terms of the pricing and the offerings and all the different things that you can have. But if you want to be inspired, say pick a Wednesday, go and bring your PC and hang out at the Enliven at the Green River and feel it for the day.
Yeah, awesome. And then everything's on your website, so you can learn about it there.
Yep.
Enlivenretreats.com.
thegreenriverin.vt.com, and after November 1st, it will be enlivenvt.com.
Cool. I'm gonna put this in the comments for everybody when you want to look into it. And so what I'm really excited about is the first weekend in December, we're gonna have a mom fest.
Yes.
At Enliven. No kids.
No kids.
No husbands.
No husbands.
And puppy parents are allowed. Puppy moms are allowed.
Totally.
And a total mom fest. We're gonna spend the night at the inn, Friday and Saturday night.
Two nights.
2 nights. And all you have to do is bring yourself. Everything is gonna be planned out. The food, the stuff, the activities. You can do all the activities that we planned, or you can decide you just want to like hang out at the river and do nothing. It's up to you. But us moms, especially after Thanksgiving, before Christmas, you need an exit. You need an exit strategy, some resting time, and connection with other moms who are in the thick of it too. And I think I was just telling you, I went and got a manicure and a pedicure for like the first time in months, and you forget what it's like to just sit with no one touching you or climbing on you or whining or anything,
calling you,
and it's invigorating. It's so therapeutic. It's so needed. And that is what this is going to be in one big weekend.
And fun.
Right. Fun, obviously.
And lots and lots and lots of laughter.
Yeah. So is there anything else you want to leave the World Wide Web? Thousands and thousands of people are watching you. Web. Yes.
I think the message is say yes to yourself. Say yes to yourself. Maybe it requires a leap of faith, a little leap of faith, right?
I think a leap of faith in yourself.
In yourself, to try something new, to go somewhere new, to go outside of your comfort zone. We're super COVID safe. We have tests that you can take when you walk in the door. We keep you super safe, so that's always the consideration. So don't let that stop you. But try something new. Try a new place. You don't know what you might experience. You may meet a really good friend.
Yes.
You may have a whole lot of fun. You may come back with a super inspired idea. You don't know what you don't know. So say yes and come have some fun, and let's make the Palette Enliven marriage be a beautiful long-term thing.
Yes, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here for it. You know, the whole premise of Here for It Live is showing up.
Showing up.
It's such a big part of why things work and how the magic is created. People show up, like attracts like. People have faith in each other, in themselves, and it's super fun just to have the connection with other like-minded individuals who you know you're going to just have fun with.
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you for being here for it, and we'll see you on October 17th at the Inn.
Wonderful. See you then.
Bye.